Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Ashley if you're new here, and in this video I'm going to be giving our first thoughts of At the Pond, the Gather Round unit. If you hear a lot of baby noises, that's because my 1-year-old daughter is right here. I gave her a little basket of random stuff that she's never seen before, and I'm hoping she'll let me film this video. My 2 boys are playing upstairs in their room, so we'll see how the video goes. So this is actually our fourth unit study that we've done from Gather Round. Last year with my kindergartner for preschool, I used their letters and numbers program, which has 4 units. We did the last 2 at the jungle and in the air, and we really enjoyed them. It's super fun. I'm planning on reusing them for my second son next year when he's in preschool. And then we also did the first unit of this. This is Ready to Read. This is their kindergarten, they say first grade program. This also has 4 units in it. We did Burrows and Holes, which I can link above if you're interested in looking at that. I think I did an update on that. I did a flip through and first thoughts video as well. And so this one I will do a flip through at the end. I only have printed out the teacher's guide and the student book A. I haven't printed out the second book yet, but I'll do a flip through of these 2, and I think it will give you a pretty good overview of what is in the program. So far we have made it through 2 weeks of this. I think it is an 8-week unit study. And I particularly like these unit studies from Gather Round because my son loves science. He loves learning about animals. He loves learning about the environment. And so these are right up his alley because if you're unfamiliar, they have basically a little lesson on something in the environment. This one, we're studying ponds and their ecosystem, so we're learning about how the ecosystem goes together. We're also learning about the different animals in the pond. So the other day we learned about large and smallmouth bass, and then the next day we learned about do fish have a job, and then what the fish do. Something I particularly like about Gather Round is their little Bible studies. It has like a Bible connection down here, and I think in all 4 of the Ready to Read programs, they're studying through the Psalms. And so last week we read through Psalm 1. We read the same Psalm every day. And then this week we read Psalm 4. So we just read it every day. And then there's a different little lesson about the Psalm, which I really like these because they're very short, but they're really impactful, I feel. And so I really appreciate them. I've also said this before, but I also really like their little questions that they have here. They're very simple, but I really like it because then I could tell if my son was listening, which he almost always is. He usually gets all of these right. So that's really fun to have those. So something else that I really like about this particular unit study is how they teach place value. We are using the Good and the Beautiful kindergarten math, and I haven't really liked the way that they are teaching place value. So this is like the perfect supplement for our math program. So the way that they teach it is that they have 1's pond and 10's lake. So it uses animals to show that only 9 animals can live in 1's pond. As soon as another animal joins the family, they have to move into 10's lake. And so 10's lake is unique where only 10 families are allowed to live there. And so we have little cutouts where they're like individual fish and then groups of 10 fish. And so I really like this because this is like a practical way for him to understand place value. So something else I thought I would mention about the program is just kind of how we're adding it in. So we are not using it as like a standalone. I think you probably have figured that out. It's kind of like a supplement for us. So because we used it last year, I already knew that we really liked these, and so I wanted to add them in this year but not use them as our sole curriculum. So typically the way that we've been doing it is we'll do 1 lesson right after our Bible story during breakfasts, and then I will go through the student book and I will just pick out worksheets that I want to work on with my son. Like for example, that 1's pond and 10's lake, I knew that that would be really beneficial for him. And so I knew that I wanted to get to this at least sometime during the day. I typically try to squeeze it in real quick in the morning so that he could have a break before he's doing like math or language arts. Another thing I really like about this program is like I said, I feel like the math really supplements the Good and the Beautiful math well, because I also feel like the Good and the Beautiful math doesn't go over pairs of 10 very much, and I feel like he could use more practice with that. And so they do a lot of that in here too. So it's a very simple worksheet. It doesn't overwhelm him. Even if I add just this worksheet to like when we're sitting down and doing math, his math program like usually only takes about 10 minutes or so. So adding this in adds like another maybe 2 minutes. So I just like that you can like add in things and then feel like his curriculum is a bit more well-rounded. So something else to know about this curriculum, if you aren't familiar, is that it teaches reading in word families. So this week you do one word family a week, and this week you would be doing the in word family. So they would read pin, fin, tin, win, and then they give consonant blend friends each week too. So these ones, I think they're, oh, it's just one. So thin is from one of the prior weeks, and then there's also twa, and oh, twa is the new one, sorry. So I like this, especially like I said, as a supplement. It helps him with his fluency, I feel like, and we don't do all of these because he's already doing the Good and the Beautiful Language Arts, and I don't think he needs a whole lot of supplement, but occasionally I'll have him do a phonics page. There's also a lot of cutting in the Gather Around Unit Studies, the letters and numbers one, and also the ready to read one. And my son really likes it, so it's kind of a good practice for him, something that he doesn't do a lot otherwise, so that's nice. So another thing that I wanted to show you guys is that they also have these stories where they will create a story and then you write it down for them and then you read it back to them and then they'll draw a picture. My son liked this last year, but he even more likes it this year because he loves stories, he loves drawing pictures, and so this is a really cool way of practicing journaling, and as he gets older and like creating stories, it's helping with creativity and stuff. So yeah, we really like these pages as well. And then the last thing that I'll note here before we do the flip through is that I also really like the social studies pages because we aren't doing too much like history or social studies this year. We're reading through the Sunlight programs, but I don't know, we're not doing any like paper, like workbook practice. And so I like how these also supplement really well. On this one, we learned about landmarks. So they have the Great Wall of China, Mount Fuji, that sort of thing. And so that's kind of cool to add in, and just, it only takes a couple of minutes, but it's still really cool to have in there. Okay, so I thought I would start with the teacher's guide, just going through a little flip through so you can see what they will be learning about. It always starts off with the note to the teacher, how to use the book, how much time is it likely to take, supplies that you'll need, and is it enough? And then there is the table of contents, which doesn't actually have too much information. It just tells you the lessons that you would do. And then each week starts off with what they're going to learn, and then an activity that you could do, but is obviously not necessary. And then it always ends with a review. I don't usually do this, and then there's an optional activity here and a little prayer. So I'm just gonna flip through and so you can see what they would learn about. So that was the teacher's guide. This is student book A. There is a student book B too, but like I mentioned earlier, I didn't print that one out yet, but I feel like just going through one is kind of a pretty good idea of what they would be using. So something I didn't mention before is also that they do calendar work in here. So let me show you at the back. They learn how to set up a calendar, and you're supposed to go every day and mark it off, which we have fallen behind on this, but it is a really cool thing that they have in here for them to learn. So I'm just going to flip through again, and so you can get an idea of what kind of activities they would be doing in here. It does mention that there's math manipulatives in the back of the book, which I'll show you after this. because I actually forgot to add them to here, so I have them separate. So something else to know about this curriculum is that the founder of it is from Canada, and so I think she knows that a lot of people from the United States would buy it, and so they didn't do currency necessarily, that she made kind of like her own currency, and then you can use that to teach them just how to like count money, I guess. We're not planning on using this since this is just supplemental, and he is learning US dollars in his other curriculum, but that's there just so that you are aware. So something else that I do like about this curriculum, I wasn't crazy about it last year and I didn't like the letter ones, but this is really helpful for reading. I like how they have like joint words. Shane reads the blue words and I read the black words, but he did really well with this. He read almost all of the black words too, which was really impressive. So this goes into the back of the student guide, I'm pretty sure, but I like I said, I forgot to put it in there. So there's flashcards for their learning sight words. The sight words that they're doing in this one is just spelling out numbers. And then I like this too, because again, it's the pairs of 10 practice, which Shane needs. So I think I am going to cut these out and have him do. And then these are the consonant blend friends that they learn. I think I'm also going to have him practice this. Like, it has all of the words on the back. So I think I like these to help with fluency as well. And then these are just cutouts. These are for the activities. We used some of them, and then this is the last one. So that is it for this video. I hope that it was helpful for you. Let me know if you've ever used a Gather Round unit study and which one you did and if you liked it, because after we finish the Ready to Read ones, I probably will venture out into the other ones. So if you enjoyed any that you've done, please let me know. And thank you again for watching, and I will see you in the next one.